Nearly 50% of people are considering leaving their jobs in 2024. This is more than during the Great Resignation. Nearly half of professionals say they're considering quitting in the year ahead, higher than the 40% who said the same ahead of the 2021 Great Resignation, according to new research from Microsoft and LinkedIn, which surveyed more than 30,000 people in 31 countries between February and March 2024. Okay, let's try and get a bit of context in place here. The Great Resignation refers to a 2-year period, 2.5-year period roughly, coming out of the pandemic where we saw 4+ million, that's over 4 million people every month, were just resigning. They were dropping out of the game altogether. It's an incredible number of people, it's a record, and it happened for a 2-year period. And by the way, when we came out of the pandemic, as mental as this may seem, the pandemic changed things in the workplace and indeed spun off a variety of brand new jobs. So to put it into context, 4 million people were laid off every month or left of their own accord, didn't come back. But equally, because those 4 million people left, 4 million more jobs rose up. With the pandemic, we've now seen the rise of remote working, hybrid working, digital nomads all over the place. The world has changed, and business, because business pivots with life, business found a way through that and also changed. So hybrid work and remote work has now become so much more common ever since the pandemic. And now you've got people that are saying, we're not going to come back to work unless we can find hybrid work or remote work. Why should I travel so far, go an hour and a half one way to work 9 to 5, and then spend an hour and a half going back the same way too, or 2 hours with rush hour? Now, what does that mean if people are now dropping out of the game and saying they'll only return if they can find remote work? Well, it's bad news for the company, because when you're advertising the job, you never know. The candidate you're speaking to, they may be the only one in the pool, the only one suitable for that job. And they say, give me 10% above what you're advertising online. You accept that. You hire them. They then say, well, I don't want to work in the office. I'm going to work from home. You accept because you need the worker. The company's desperate for the worker. What does that mean for you? Your costs have gone up because the salary's increased, and you're left with a cost for an office building where no one's going into it. So you're stuck paying rent on a building that some of your workers aren't even using. So you're not utilizing the assets, meaning it's an extra financial burden and more costs are added to your already increasing expense list. What does that mean for the consumer? Inflation. That magical, dirty buzzword. Prices have gone up, meaning everyone's impacted by paying more for the same thing before the pandemic happened. To counter such high costs and remain profitable, you need to find a way to generate more revenue. And more often than not, unfortunately, that comes with increasing the cost of your goods and services. And if you want to know just how bad the situation has got, there's a video going around on TikTok which explains the situation perfectly. Let's take a listen.
Just spent almost $12 on grapes. I'm mind blown at this. It's $11.62 for fucking grapes. Every time I go to the store, I'm just shocked. Work a 9-to-5 job. I get paid like pretty well, have 4 kids. I just honestly don't know how people are making it. Think it's not possible to just have a 9-to-5 job anymore. You either need to like significantly decrease your lifestyle to keep up with what things are costing now, and or find another way to make money. I've been able to start digital and affiliate marketing to like bridge that gap for all the inflation and the cost, which has worked well for me and my family. I do work. I don't have time to go to like store and this store and that store to get like the best deals on stuff. And I have 4 freaking kids. Like, they are so damn expensive. I just want to know, what are you guys doing? Are you really cutting back on how you spend? Upping any extras? Are you finding other ways to make money? What are you guys doing?
$12 for grapes, The world's gone mad. So what does that now mean for the average worker, the majority of the workforce? Well, because businesses have now increased the cost of their goods and services, and the prices have gone up, most of the workforce, the average worker, will now need to find a way to make more money, because they need to find a way to beat these inflated prices. And it's actually being addressed loud and proud in the CNBC article. Inflation is pushing some workers to new jobs, so people are switching jobs to beat these inflated prices because they need a higher income. And we do know on average that job switchers tend to increase their income. This is from the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta. And even Yahoo News has commented on this. Of all the news outlets, Americans who switch jobs are seeing pay gains nearly double of those who stay put. Now that's no disrespect to those people who want to stay put. I salute you guys. I understand that location comes into it. Company loyalty, if you have loyalty to the company, that comes into it. Family and where they're at comes into it. Secure, stable income, that also comes into it. But for those who are looking to earn a higher income, job switching has been particularly rewarding, according to this article. New data from ADP, ADP being an American HR and payroll systems company, released on Wednesday shows the median year-on-year pay increase for job switchers was 10% in March, the highest rate of growth since July 2023. Meanwhile, job stayers saw an annual wage gain of 5.1% during the month. Now, when I read that, and I recognize what's happened in the past with the Great Resignation after the pandemic and job switching happening every month, 4 million plus people per month, I'm looking at that and seeing the pattern happen again. We've been there before, so what exactly does that mean? Well, it means we could very well see another Great Resignation job switching crossover, if that makes sense. Now, I'm not sure whether it will be as big as the Great Resignation or the job switching that followed the COVID-19 pandemic, because of course, that was a pandemic. The whole world changed during those 2 years. This is going to be an interesting one to watch, but it does look like it may happen again. And, this sort of stuff is cyclical. This resignation phase, this job switching phase, it's all cyclical. Inflation's cyclical. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. It's like a yin and yang relationship. You can't have one without the other. They go together, oddly enough, but they do. But with all of that analysis, I just want to end with this one warning, this last particular message, because this is why I made this video, just to issue this as a general reflective thought. And this is my message to share with you all. You've all seen the title of the video, you've seen the titles of some of these articles. 50% of people are leaving the workforce. People are dropping out of the game altogether. People are switching jobs. That's what the media is telling us. That's what the Federal Reserve are telling us. Fair enough. I understand that. I understand people's reasons for wanting to pack it in and just leave the workforce entirely. I also understand their reasons for leaving their current jobs to go find a new job because, of course, there's every chance you could get paid more. But I just wanted to flag this one issue with that train of thought. There's no guarantee of finding another job if you leave your current one. And these are very uncertain, difficult times. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a look at all your options and exercise your right to choose which option you want to take. All I'm saying is, the grass isn't always greener. There is no guarantee of you finding another job. There's also a chance you could get a job that pays more, which means you've hit the jackpot. But there's also equally a chance that you may not find another job, or you may find another job that may pay you less because your search for a higher job or a job that paid you the same amount once you lowered your expectations may not have worked out at all. So you're now looking below what you were getting paid previously. And CNBC have addressed this as resigner's remorse, or as other people like to refer to it, the Great Regret. About 80% of those who quit their jobs during the Great Resignation regretted their decision to leave, particularly Gen Zers who miss working in an office environment, and Gen Xers who miss the work-life balance from their previous jobs. Oh man, and this is what I find so troubling. These are people's livelihoods. We can't play a game with people's lives, and they're suffering as a result of the Great Resignation. So people are regretting their decision to leave their job. Here's why. Here's the warning. People went into this thinking the grass is greener somewhere else, and I'm going to take a bigger paycheck at company X. But they didn't take into account whether they would enjoy the type of work that they will be doing. They didn't take into account whether they would enjoy being in that corporate environment. They didn't take into account if their work was fully remote, if they would miss a social element or a practical element of being somewhere else, not trapped inside their home. Nor did they take into account, I'm going to secure the job first before leaving my current job. Not all the workers, only some of them. This is what's troubling me, because these are decisions that are being made as part of this Great Resignation and job switching phase. And people are not thinking them through with great detail. As mad as it may seem, even something as basic like a pros and cons list will help you decide, is the place I'm going to better than the place I'm leaving? You know, the whole picture has to be looked at, not just the financial elements of it. Because then you've got your financial health, you've got your physical health, you've got your mental health, you've got your family health. What do you prize? What do you cherish? You cherish everything put together, not just one side of it. The two big questions you've got to ask: am I right for this type of work? And is this workplace right for me? It's a relationship. They both go hand in hand. You work with each other to get to where you want to go. So don't get trapped just by looking at the financial side of it. You know, there's a lot more to take into account and a lot more nuance that needs to be applied before making that final decision. And there we have it. We've reached the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment down below if you did enjoy this video. And please be careful. It's a tough time for everyone out there. I hope you have the best of luck in your job hunt. And take care. God bless. I'll see you all real soon. See you later.